there's something you're doing almost every day that's draining your confidence, killing your motivation, and destroying your ability to stay disciplined. And the craziest part? You probably don't even realize how much it's holding you back. Once you see the truth, you might never do it again. This isn't just about quitting a habit. It's about taking back your mind, about stepping into the kind of discipline, focus, and self-respect that ancient Stoics built their lives around. And it starts with confronting something most men are afraid to talk about. Today, we're going deep into the Stoic secrets that can change the way you think about pleasure, control, and your future. Let me ask you a question. What do you feel after you do it? 5 minutes of escape. Maybe. Then what? Guilt, shame, emptiness. You feel weak, like you let yourself down again. You told yourself yesterday would be the last time. But then, late at night, you're alone. Your willpower is low, and that part of your brain kicks in, the craving. You open the browser, scroll a little, you know exactly where to go, and 2 minutes later, it's over. But the consequences, they last, they build up. You don't realize it, but every time you give in, you're training your brain to escape discomfort, not face it. You're numbing your edge, and worst of all, you're wasting a fuel that Stoics believed was sacred, your sexual energy. Let me tell you about a Roman emperor. His name was Marcus Aurelius. He ruled the most powerful empire in the world, fought off invasions, buried children, endured betrayal, and still kept a clear, focused mind. Why? Because he understood something most men today ignore. Your desires aren't meant to control you. You're meant to master them. Marcus wrote this in his journal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about that. You have power over your mind, but what happens when you give in to your urges every day? You lose that power. You're not in charge. A part of your brain is, the part that doesn't care about your future. It only wants relief. Now here's the secret the Stoics knew. If you can learn to sit with discomfort without running from it, you become dangerous. You become someone that nothing can shake, because the world is full of distractions. Pleasure is everywhere, but most of it is poison in disguise. And the easiest poison to access? Porn. Let's break it down. When you watch porn and masturbate, your brain releases a massive dose of dopamine. But here's the trap. Your brain gets used to it. So regular things that used to make you feel good, they don't hit the same anymore. A good workout, a meaningful conversation, finishing a hard task, they all feel dull compared to the flood you get from your screen. Now you're hooked, not because you're weak, but because your brain is doing what it was designed to do, chase the highest reward. The problem is that dopamine spike comes without any effort, no risk, no courage, no growth, just click, watch, release. And here's where it gets dark. The more you do it, the more your brain expects that reward. Even if your logical mind wants to stop, the craving doesn't care. This is why willpower alone isn't enough. You need to shift your entire relationship with pleasure and discipline. Let's break it down. When you watch porn and masturbate, your brain releases a massive dose of dopamine. But here's the trap. Your brain gets used to it. So regular things that used to make you feel good, they don't hit the same anymore. A good workout, a meaningful conversation, finishing a hard task, they all feel dull compared to the flood you get from your screen. Now you're hooked, not because you're weak, but because your brain is doing what it was designed to do, chase the highest reward. The problem is that dopamine spike comes without any effort, no risk, no courage, no growth, just click, watch, release. And here's where it gets dark. The more you do it, the more your brain expects that reward. Even if your logical mind wants to stop, the craving doesn't care. This is why willpower alone isn't enough. You need to shift your entire relationship with pleasure and discipline. There was a man named Cleanthes, another Stoic. He was so disciplined that other philosophers mocked him, said he worked too hard, said he didn't enjoy life. But Cleanthes believed in something deeper than pleasure, virtue, living with integrity, strength, self-command. See, the Stoics weren't anti-pleasure. They weren't monks hiding in caves. They were warriors. They believed in using pleasure intentionally, not being used by it. And here's what they knew. If you can control your sexual energy, you can redirect it into learning, into leadership, into creativity, into purpose. This is why some of the greatest men in history practiced retention. Because they knew their energy wasn't something to waste on a screen. It was a weapon, a force. And every time you conserve it, you build it. Every day you go without giving in, you walk taller, you think clearer, you speak bolder. Because now you're channeling your edge, not leaking it. Let me give you a challenge. For the next 7 days, don't touch it. No porn, no masturbation. Instead, do this. Write for 10 minutes every morning, take a cold shower, move your body, lift something, walk far. Speak to someone with full attention. Then journal what you feel, not just physically, mentally, spiritually. You might feel restless at first. That's normal. That's your mind detoxing from the drug of instant gratification. But if you push through those first few days, you'll start to feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Power. The power of being in control of yourself. The power of choosing your actions. The power of not being owned by a habit. And once you feel that power, even for a second, you'll never want to go back. You were never meant to live like this, hidden in shame, controlled by pixels, wasting your edge on nothing. You were built for discipline, for purpose, for strength. And it starts by saying, enough. Enough running. Enough escaping. Enough trading your future for 5 seconds of pleasure. The Stoics didn't have filters or blockers. They had something stronger, their word. They made a promise to themselves, and they kept it. Not because it was easy, but because it made them powerful. And you can do the same. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to become a monk. But you do need to stop lying to yourself. This habit is costing you more than you know. And the day you stop is the day you take your power back. Not just from porn, but from everything that's been holding you back. Watch the next video.